Good morning and good afternoon and good evening to everyone tuning in to Automotive Inspire, our new series where we interview innovative, inspiring people who are changing the world of mobility and who have great stories to tell. I'm Drew Winter with the Informa Tech Automotive Group. We're here today with Joann Jung, Design Director of Interior Design for Lucid Motors, the maker of the gorgeous new Lucid Air electric luxury sedan. As a creative director of interior design at Lucid Motors, Joanne oversees development of vehicle interiors from concept strategy to volume production with the goal of designing the ultimate in-vehicle experiences for all occupants by creating a unique interior space concept. Prior to her role at Lucid, Joanne led global advanced interior design at Ford, where she created concepts for the all-new 2015 Ford F-150 interior, and also spent years at the Lincoln studio with designs that include the Lincoln MKT concept interior. So Joanne, let's start out talking about how you got started in automotive design. You know, the stereotype of the automotive designer is a person who started out drawing cars when they were a kid and they always dreamed of being a car designer and they always wanted to design sports cars and Ferraris. And you didn't start out that way. You came from the US? Yeah. Tell me about it.
I mean, I love cars. I love design, but I don't think I was ever a gearhead, like machine, and because I didn't grow up with car culture. I grew up in Korea, South Korea, but I think I was always interested in 3D. I literally grew up playing Lego since I was 3, and I still do that. But it was a very natural thing for me to, it was having the interest in space or sculpting. My interest was object, something very beautiful, but that started as an art. But as I got more educated and understanding there is a whole different world of design. And that comes in many different forms: product, architecture, car design, space design, and fashion, etc. But it was natural for me to fall into, grow up in LA, went to Pasadena Art Center. For me, car is a product itself that has a life. And seeing it from different perspective, and that was my interest into auto industry. Never seeing as a car to drive, but seeing always is something very emotionally I was attached, and it was a beautiful thing to look at. Once you get in, it becomes part of myself.
You know, you said a really interesting thing to me, earlier about, how you saw vehicle interiors as interactive sculpture.
Yes.
I think that was a really cool way to describe it. So tell us, what are your proudest achievements so far in your career?
I mean, startup, Lucid Motor. I must say that I felt like I study and work and learn so that I could have this moment of my life that I could be very proud. It's not just a car that we did. We built a company, we built a brand, and I personally believed that we're paving a future. So for me, that is the proudest moment and achievement, and I'm still working towards to that. But more than anything, as an individual, as a designer, as a person, as a creative person, I must say is meeting incredible people throughout the journey. It's those moments those moments when you meet somebody, when you connect with similar mindset, and you know that you are better and you know that you are influenced, which helps me to become a better designer, a better teacher, better students. It's every day, every month, I feel like I am changing. And I think it's a really good thing because I want to improve every day. But if I have to say what is the most proudest moment, is Lucid Air, because it felt like this is beyond just a car. This
Yeah.
is effort and the future that we're trying to create.
Yeah, I mean, a whole new thing. That's
Mm.
really cool. So your mother is an artist. How did she feel about you becoming a car designer?
She loves it. She
Okay.
she's the one who actually grabbed my hand to art center because she knows that how much I love playing with shapes, and she also knows how much I am very emotional person when it comes to a design and product because for me that is my medium to express myself. So she sees that I found the industry where I could be me. She sees that I am happy every day creating something. And she's also happy that she didn't know about car design. And it was for us, both of us, exciting. And more than anything, that I want to have fun. I I think that's why I love what I do. Every day is different, and she sees that. So
That's neat. So, of course, it's not a secret that the automotive design still is very male dominated
mhm.
to some extent. So, how difficult was it for you to pursue your dreams in this environment?
It was more than anything. I don't think it was the difficulty. It's the difference. I was different, not only the gender wise, but I was different because I grew up in different culture. Like I said, it wasn't a call culture, it was something else. And my first job was at Ford Motor Company in Michigan. Going to Michigan from Korea to LA to Michigan, it was very, very far away from home. But in a way, because I came from different background, that it was easy for me to walk in with the attitude of I'm here to learn. I want to have fun, and it's a combination of being me, being a female, being young, and not knowing anything better. I was very just motivated and wanted to be there. But at the same time, I think that I do pay a lot more attention overall space than exterior or just one object. Is for me is bigger, and it's the instead of designing. Put it this way: instead of designing IP door and dash, I always look at it as designing a space.
Space.
And I think it was very refreshing for a lot of mentors that I had when I went to Ford. So if that's the female aspect, maybe, but I think it's a lot to do with how I see the world, how I see a product, because I don't think I ever see things individual. The beauty of a car for me is it's a lot of many products, but it's all attached to one. And it's a really complicated machine, but at the same time, somehow it creates this emotional connection with us. There is a human and machine and its connection. So walking in, having different perspective, that actually helped me to overcome a lot of obstacles that many of us had. And I think it's beyond just the gender. I think it's a lot of us having the same issue coming from different culture. But at the end of the day, we're all there for the same reason. We love cars. We want to be designers. So it's when you have a right goal, I think it's really natural to learn and to become part of the industry.
Wow, that's neat. So, what advice would you give young designers, especially young female designers, about pursuing, successful careers in automotive design?
Make sure that you find what you love. And if it is a car, if it is auto industry, do do the research and see what are the options because you'll be surprised. It's not just a sketching a car. There is a building a car. There is a sculpting. There is alias modeling. At the same time, there is ergonomic study, which I find it very fascinating. And these days, from now and so quickly, cars are becoming part of our life extension. It's a lifestyle. The paradigm has been changed. So there is engineering, there is manufacturing, there is a graphic, UX, UI. There's so many different aspects of designing a car or coming into auto industry. So I will suggest find what you love the most and find what you feel most comfortable. That means you're good at it because you're naturally you have this intuition of uncertain things. And but always the goal is, are you smiling when you go to your office? Are you happy? Do you want to go back? And are you meeting, nice people? Are you being respected, or are you respecting everybody around you? Then that will give you, like, you will feel your heart. So advice to young females, young male students, anybody from everywhere is incredibly fun and challenging, but you have to know that's what you want because it is a whole different world, but it is a commitment. For me, it's a life commitment.
So, we've been talking about space and whatnot in the interior. And so what are the biggest changes in vehicle design that you've seen, especially the interior design in the past 10 or 15 years? It seems to me that this whole focus on user experience and things like that. But what's your feeling?
I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. Like I said, paradigm is changing.
Yeah.
So it's all about the inside, which makes my career so much interesting and important. But I love exterior because that's what I fall in love with. Without the beautiful exterior, there is no interior because you don't even get a chance to open the door. But at the same time, exterior is changing. It's not about the huge engine. It's not about the size of it. It's all about how fast does it go, what's the aerodynamic, how light it is. But when you walk into interior, it's all about energy. It's all about space. It's all about how you spend your time.
Wow. So you worked at Ford, which is one of the world's biggest automakers, and now you're working an electric EV startup. So tell us a little bit about how different that is. I mean, I'm sure it's there's a lot of great things and some other things not so great. What's that like?
I think if it was smart, I took the advice to go to Ford because I wanted to learn car manufacturer process. I wanted to learn to be the proper car designer from the mothership. And I loved it. I grew up there. It's big. But there is, because it's got the history, because it has a legacy, there's a certain way to do the business. For me, in order to catch up with the fast time, the way the things are moving today and tomorrow, we have to change how we build the product. So coming to Lucid, coming to startup, it gives that freedom. It gives the every day is different, but at the same time, we get to create new things. But it also comes with the responsibility because it's you and handful of people. But everybody's here, everybody come to startup because we want to change. And I think that makes the most difference. People who need, who desire, who is craving for making changes quickly. When you have those people, we get things done a lot quicker. And we make mistake, but we also realize made mistake, let's learn from it and let's quickly fix it and move forward. That loop around, the timing is much quicker. And for me, that's the biggest difference.
I can see it. Things can happen faster. You can make things happen, and I think the sense of ownership has got to be got to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that leads me into my next question of, the car is going to be launching this year. It's going to be on the road, and there's prototypes out there already. How does that make you feel when you see them rolling around now?
I mean, I never had child, but if I could imagine, maybe that would be the feeling, this proud moment. But at this, I mean, when I saw the car rolling out of our garage first time in person, I did cry. Not gonna lie, that was a moment. Wow, we did it! And look at the first product. 6 years of our effort and the wish and the pride and the vision. I will do it all over again. That was an incredibly unbelievable feeling.
Okay, so the last question is, finish this sentence. I love working in the automotive mobility industry because
I love cars. That's the first thing. But because also it's the most diverse industry. But I love, we're at the moment, we're at the time where things are changing. Quickly explain, there was a horse that we were riding. It was all about speed and distance. And then there was a carriage. You no longer need to ride a horse. And then there was a competition engine. It was, again, speed and power. You're back on a horse again because you're behind the wheel. You're driving. It took us 100 years to get to where we are today, which is EV, but still driving behind. But we have a more space now because a new platform. From now, 10 to 15 years, we're walking into autonomous driving. Again, back to carriage timing. I'm not driving, I am behind, and I get to have my time. And it's not just about a car. There is a Hyperloop, there is an EV Volt, there is a space rocket. There are so many new way of transporting mobility. I love my job because I'm at the right time, right place, with the right people to be the next 5 to 10 years of mobility change. And just talking about it gives me a goosebump.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. Well, you know what? Gosh, this time has gone so fast. We got to go. So thank you so much for being here and inspiring us all, Joanne. And
Thank you. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank our audience who joined us today live from all over the world. This interview will restream at 2 p.m. EST on LinkedIn and the Automotive Inspire page and available on demand on Monday. So I'm Drew Winter, and be sure to come back on April 22nd for our interview with Richard Vaughan, who is head of crafted quality at Rivian and a nationally known collector of British luxury cars. So that's another great story and another very interesting person. Thanks again, Joanne, and then we'll see you all next month.
Thank you.